By the way, Derek Carr, it's a 4-year deal, been reported in multiple places. Now, he's reunited with Dennis Allen, who was with the Raiders. I don't know what happens with Michael Thomas. What's Taysom? Wait, I thought they had their quarterback on their roster. How many years did we go through that with Sean Payton? I'm like, no, he's not a quarterback. No, Sean Payton he's not a quarterback. A great athlete, not a quarterback. And now you got Derek Carr, and I think you can safely say he's the best quarterback in the NFC South right now.
Maybe.
Right now he is. Now, we just had Dan Orlovsky on. And Orlovsky said there was a report that, the Jets were leaning towards, or Derek Carr leaning towards the Jets. And he thought that was just sort of a way of maybe flushing out Aaron Rodgers. Like, you want to play for the Jets? Let's go. And unless Rodgers said, I don't know what I'm going to do, all right, then we really don't want Derek Carr. But now it makes me wonder, what did the Jets do now? What's Aaron Rodgers do now? I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to set the market or reset the market in the offseason, where Rodgers is going here, and that meant the dominoes would fall. And that would be, okay, if he goes to the Jets, does Garoppolo go to the Raiders? Derek Carr goes to the Saints. Who does Carolina get? Does Carolina wait in the draft? Are they interested in Anthony Richardson? And you get Cam Newton 2.0. That's what I was curious about. And I still am. What if Rodgers retires? So Jordan Love's going to start with Green Bay. The Raiders, now, what do? They bring in Jimmy G? Are the Jets interested in Jimmy G? Is Mike White going to be the future quarterback with the Jets? So there's still a lot going on, but I thought it was going to be Rodgers. And, Rodgers, I'm going to guess this week, probably make his decision, whether he retires or, plays for somebody else. I guess he could stay with Green Bay. But I keep hearing, although they're not reports, that Green Bay has moved on. Like, if you talk to people who are around the sport, they say the same thing. 3 people said the same thing over the weekend. Oh, they're ready to move on. I go, are they moving on? They're ready to move on. Are they moving on? That's what I want to know. Because I'm ready, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because if Aaron Rodgers goes, I'm going to come back one more year, are you going to say we're moving on, and then what? Because Rodgers can come back fully guaranteed. It doesn't matter if you're ready to move on or not. If he's not ready to move on. Yes, Paulie?
The Saints also didn't have a first-round pick in the draft, at least their original first-round pick. I think they traded last year to go up to get Chris Olave, the wide receiver. So that would have been the 10th pick. Philly now has that. But the Saints, their roster is ranked in the top 10 of the NFL, their entire team roster on the PFF. I wonder if they looked at their division and said, I'd rather overspend for Derek Carr and have a chance to win the division or be in our division than rebuild or start over, because they don't have the draft guys to do it either.
Yeah, but I don't know if I got Michael Thomas. Alvin Kamara's got legal trouble. Who do I really have? I love Olave, but is that enough? And maybe you can be a under sub 500 team and still win the NFC South. We've seen that as recently as last year. I think Brady looks around and goes, "Oh God, you know what? It's hard to leave the NFC South. What's easier, home life or the NFC South?"
He wasn't really facing murderer's row for most of his career anyway, so.
Hey, don't talk bad about Tommy.
I mean, it's not like he really struggled in New England, so.
I know. You had the Dolphins and the Bills and the Jets, and you're like, okay.
All in some of their worst times in franchise history.
Pretty much 6 of our 10 wins are going to be against those guys. Yes, Marv?
They go 5-1 because they would always lose to the Dolphins.
They would down in
Miami.
Yeah,
always.
Always. Yeah, always.